Back at the Artie Lange Show, we have got Billy Porter, actor, performer, everything. I mean, what all do you call yourself, Billy? What's on your calling card?
I don't have a card. I should have cards made, huh?
Yeah.
I have a lot of titles.
You absolutely do. and you've gone and just run circles around everyone else in every industry since we last saw you.
Well, I don't know about circles. I mean, I'm just trying to strike while the iron is hot.
Well,
you know,
it is
that's
certainly
what they say.
hot. So you won a Tony.
I won a Tony, yes.
As Best Actor.
As Best Actor.
I mean, that's...
Who did you beat?
It's a big deal.
Who did I beat? Oh, does it matter?
Yeah, no, I'm curious. I don't watch the Tonys.
Dude, we have to talk about who I
would love to know who else was nominated.
We're all winners.
Let me rephrase that. You're right. That was terrible of me.
Right.
Who are the other winners who were nominated? That were humiliated.
Yeah.
Well, my co-star, Stark Sands,
Okay.
was nominated, and Santino Fontano was nominated from Cinderella, and Bertie Carvel from Matilda, and Rob. What's Rob's last name? See, you're putting me on the spot.
McClure?
And it's not fair. McClure, yes.
Yeah.
Rob McClure.
I just remembered that.
Yes, Rob
No,
McClure.
he told me.
Wow.
Wow, that was fast.
That was
Thank
impressive.
you. That was very impressive.
So you won a Tony.
Yes.
As Best Actor for playing... I guess you're playing a man in
I am playing a man. I dress...
A man who's playing a woman.
I dress as a lady.
Yeah.
Yes, I dress as a lady, but, you know, you also see me in the play in boy clothes. So, you know.
I
it's
need
not
to...
as confusing as it looks on paper.
Yeah.
Can I ask what it's about? Because this sounds like a lot of things that I happen to have quite a bit of experience
That you
with.
like?
Well, let's just say we've all
A
made
lot
the
of the
mistake.
things that you enjoy
Yes, we've all done the Adam's apple check.
on a drunken evening.
I don't drink. Believe me, I wish I had that excuse. I don't drink. I'm just a good egg. So what is it about?
So it's about, Kinky Boots is about a shoe factory in Northampton, England that is going under, and our unlikely hero is sort of thrust into taking it over when his father dies suddenly. And, you know, he meets a lady in an alley when she's being harassed. He sort of steps in to try to help her, thinking that it's a real lady, and it ends up being a drag queen. And, you know, I swing and hit him in the face, and my heel on my boot, you know, gets broken, and he gets the idea, oh, you know, the heels can't hold the weight of a man. Maybe I should make boots that can withstand the weight of a man. That might save our factory. I become the designer of the factory, and the black drag queen saves the day.
Oh, nice.
It's, you know, a heartwarming family story.
Yeah. So making heels
Yes.
for
Drag
sturdier
For
bodies.
sturdier bodies, yes.
Wow.
I now have an excuse to give my doorman whenever they call up. Yes, my friend from Kinky Boots will be arriving. Please send that delightful young lady up.
Yeah. So
Yes, they won't be able to tell. I've worked very hard.
Oh, really?
To pass.
I can tell. I'm really. I wish I can always tell. And I never ask though, because if you're ever wrong,
That wouldn't be good.
that's unretractable.
Yeah.
So do you think you can pull it off and fool someone who's as adept at
You know, I don't know.
Differentiating?
I don't know that I need to. I'm not certain that it's really.
No, that's not
It's
part
not
of the
really
show.
on my bucket list.
No. Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to work and getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing that among many other things. You got the SVU
Yes,
that you did.
my SVU.
A favorite of, I think, a lot of the folks in here. We had...
You like that show?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that show.
We had Christopher Maloney in here.
Yes, he's a good friend
A
of mine.
couple weeks ago. Is he?
Yeah.
We had him on. You know
Malone's.
what? I think it's gone. I think it's gone down since they got rid of that dynamic with Christopher and Mariska.
I don't agree with you. I think it just
You like
is
it?
different.
It's different. Well, maybe I'm
different.
holding on too
You have
tightly
to embrace
the past.
change.
I know. You're right.
You have to embrace the change. Life has changed.
I guess, but they were on that thing for 11, 12 years together.
Yeah, and now
And
it's
I
been,
felt
what,
like it's been
16?
2. Well, no, I don't know how long the show's been going.
I think it's like 16.
Yeah.
I think it might be around 16.
That's popular. Well, so how did that happen? How do you get asked to do that? Or
Well, yeah, that one was an ask. I know Malone's. We've had the same manager for 23 years, so my manager had connections with them. Invited them to come see Kinky Boots.
the same manager for 23 years. That's another thing. You are very youthful.
Youthful.
You don't look like you've had anything
black
for
don't
23
crack.
years. Yeah.
Black don't crack.
Right. But you're from Pittsburgh.
I am from Pittsburgh, and I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, right. I mean, I was
Yes.
reading about that, and I'm thinking, wait, I'm doing the math here. Like
I'm
this
older
guy.
than you. Yes, I am.
Yeah, right.
I'm older than you.
Yeah. Okay. So you've had the same manager.
I'll be 45 in 3 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Does that answer your question that you're beating
Amazing.
around the bush?
That's
White
amazing.
certainly cracks. I'm 21 and he's 23.
You have to moisturize. You have to use your creams and unguents.
That's where I went wrong. Okay, so you have the same manager for 23 years,
Yeah.
and he says, hey.
Well, he had a relationship with the showrunners and the producers and everybody over at SVU. So he invited them to the show and sort of planted the idea in their ear, and then they bit, and they
wrote a part for you.
They wrote a part for me for that specific show.
Has it aired?
It's aired twice. It aired in November 1st, and then it aired this past week. Did you
Billy
watch?
Did they let you know when it was going to be on?
They did let us know because they want you to tweet. Everybody wants you to twat and tweet.
Yeah,
things.
right.
You know, it's so I can't keep up with the platforms. There's so many platforms.
Yeah.
What was the part? What kind of guy?
I was Mr. Jackie. Mr. Jackie, he was accused of fiddling with the young children.
Oh, man.
But it wasn't true.
I hope not, because they wrote it just for
It
you.
wasn't true.
Yeah. Right.
And they, and I was a gay out music teacher, and they accused me of twiddling with the children.
Wow.
And ruined my life.
Was it based on, a lot of times those are based on stuff that's in the news. Was it based on?
I really don't know. I just got the script. I said, thank you very much for writing me a really big part
Yeah.
on national television, and I just went and did it.
Wow. So how in this show, I mean, because I love the show.
Yes.
I mean, did you go to court? Were you doing, how much involved
Oh no!
in the
It was
show were you doing?
I was the major storyline.
Wow.
And it was about the shakedown of the kids who were accusing me, and uncovering that it was the girl. I was a vocal coach, and I didn't put a couple of girls through, and they get mad at me, and they tell their little brothers to say things about me.
Wow.
It is weird how they can coach. Like, you never know. Like, you always want to believe the kids, but then there's always these weird things, like the McMartin preschool. It turns out a lot of them were coached. It's really hard to, to know
it's
who's
a very
telling the truth in
difficult
those
thing.
things.
Yeah.
As an adult, by the way, there's no way to say that publicly and not sound like you're covering up for things. Like, you never know who to believe. I didn't need to be that vehement about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's deep, man. Yeah, but you're here. Are you promoting your album?
I am promoting my album today.
This is a big deal. I mean, this is your third album.
It's my third album. It's my first album in almost 10 years. It debuted last Tuesday, Tax Day, on the 15th. Billy's back on Broadway.
And that's a tribute to Sammy Davis Jr.,
Well, it's
right?
not a full tribute to Sammy Davis Jr.
But the title, at least,
I want to be
is.
clear. The title of the album is a throwback to a Sammy Davis Jr. album from the 60s called Sammy's Back on Broadway. And I
There's
I
your
really
album.
wanted to, there it is.
Yeah.
And I really wanted
Classic.
to sort of capture that. There you said it. I wanted to capture that classic era. And, I chose songs that are inspirational, empowering, hopeful songs. And the arrangements go from the classic to the contemporary. So it starts really sort of big bandy, old school, Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra, and as the album progresses, it becomes more and more contemporary sounding, but with a full orchestra.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, it's exciting. It's very exciting.
That's when I was reading a little bit about the album, and it said, you know, hey, when you were a child in the 80s or younger in the 80s,
No, I was a teenager.
That's when you when you were a teenage fan of music in the 80s. That, you know, a lot of those songs inspired you and made you realize that you wanted to go to Broadway and perform.
Yeah, it was, you know, I was bit by the bug really early. I was bit in the 6th grade. I started doing plays and
Middle school?
In middle school.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it could be a profession from seeing.
Were you just killing it? I mean, were you obviously
I could sing.
way
I could really
superior?
sing. I could always sing. And then I had really great teachers who sort of cultivated and nurtured the other skills and, you know, told me what would be necessary and required of me once I got here. You know, the leadership and the guidance and having people to tell you what you need and set you on the right path. You know, I wanted to move to New York when I was 17, and, you know, my teachers were like, no, you're going to go to college and you're going to learn your craft and you're going to learn what you're doing so that when you get to New York, you'll know what you're doing.
Wow. Well, you certainly, I mean, you trained heavily. We'll talk about that more when we come back. We got to take a break.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.